Today I am talking about what happens when you leave a toxic relationship. Like, what is on the other side of the healing process once you leave and go through that? Because usually when we're thinking of leaving a toxic relationship, a lot of fear comes up because it's the unknown, right? We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what it's going to look like when we do leave and go through the process of recovering from that. So that's what I want to talk about today. Like, what does it look like when you get through it? So the first thing that happens is you end up having a much better picture of what you truly want in a relationship. So I know, like, for myself, and probably many of you too, you go into, or you used to go into relationships thinking that you wanted certain qualities in someone, and sometimes these could be things like physical attraction, or you want that chemistry, or the feeling of butterflies with someone. But then when you go through a toxic relationship and you see that, well, actually some of those qualities are not really ideal for me in the long term. They might be fun for, the first couple weeks or months, but actually long term, they're not the characteristics that I'm truly looking for a long-term relationship. So that's what's on the other side of this. You know yourself a lot better. You know what actually truly works for you. And then you go about creating it. So that's one of the really, really good things about coming out of a toxic relationship. The next thing is you will know and understand red flags and signs that someone is not right for you so much better than someone who actually hasn't gone through this. If you have never experienced a difficult relationship or, even an abusive one, sometimes you just don't know what to look for. You don't know the signs. You kind of have a idealistic picture of people and you miss stuff, right? This time, once you've gone through your healing process, you won't miss those things. Again, it's like I was saying in the beginning, you truly know yourself at this point and what works for you and what doesn't in a relationship, and you know when you see those things that don't work for you, you're not going to just write them off anymore. You're not going to make excuses for them. You will know, okay, I'm seeing these things. This means this person is not right for me. And you keep it moving. Okay. So the next thing is you end up knowing what a healthy relationship actually is. And of course, this is if you do take the time in between, after you do leave your toxic relationship and you do some healing and you do some work, you know what healthy relationship behaviors are and what they're not. Just like you'll know the red flags better, you will know when you see something that is truly worth investing in a person. You know to look for compassion, compatibility, kindness, caring in a person, and not for the other things, like what I call the shiny things, like chemistry, excitement, charm. You know that while those may be fun, they're also not good long-term healthy relationship qualities that you want in a person. So you're not fooled by those anymore, in the sense that you're going to put the love goggles on and get carried away by someone who truly isn't compatible for you. And then the last thing that I wanted to mention that is on the other side of this healing process after coming out of a toxic relationship is that you end up becoming much more wise, much stronger than you probably thought you were capable of. And you're now this transformed person. Like I was telling somebody yesterday, I was telling one of my clients, when you've gone through something like this, a toxic relationship, and then a subsequent healing process after leaving, what it does is it wears down your ego. right? So the ego is the part of us that is the wounded inner child, you could say. But it's the part of us that's kind of superior and a little bit arrogant and, thinks it's all that. So what happens is that ego gets worn down a little bit, gets a little bruised, gets a little battered. But what that means is you come out of that process much more compassionate, much more open-hearted. And that makes for much better relationships because you're now more open, you're more available, you're more loving. And so while it may seem like an extremely difficult process to go through, and I wouldn't wish it on anyone, I wouldn't wish a toxic relationship on anyone or the recovery process, there are actually some really good things that come out of it. You, like I said, your ego gets worn down and you're a much more grounded, loving person. So it's not, there is a benefit here. It's not, all of that suffering is not for nothing, if that makes sense. I hope this is making sense for you guys. But yeah, so there is light at the end of the tunnel here. And if you are thinking of leaving a toxic relationship and you're just scared of what's going to happen, scared of what it's going to look like, this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like on the other side. You know yourself better. You're wiser. You're more compassionate. You're more loving. You know what to avoid. And if you follow your inner wisdom, it will definitely guide you to a healthy partner for you. All right, guys. So if you are thinking about leaving a toxic relationship or you're struggling with overcoming that and healing from that, please reach out to me. That's what I'm here for. That's why I'm coming on, doing all these videos. Yes, I am here. So please feel free to reach out. All right, guys, I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.